follow that. I'd like to start off by introducing the topics master for this evening, who, for the purpose of this education slot, is Anthony. Please join us. Thank you very much. Yes. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, guests. I've got a whole range of topics for you tonight, all sorts of things. And who's going to be the first volunteer? Well, tonight the first volunteer will be Anthony. Me? Yes. Right, well, what I'd like you to do is to come up here and pick a topic out of this bag, all right? Right, yeah, I'll have that. Your topic, Anthony, is table topics. Table topics. Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. Topics Master, Mr. General Evaluator, Mr. Timekeeper, Mr. Grammarian, my Lord Bishop, Chief Constable, my Lord Mayor, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. What's the topic? Table topics. Table topics. I believe that the secret to a good table topic is preparation. Now, of course, your reaction to that will be, but it's an impromptu speech. You don't know what you're going to be asked to talk about. So how on earth can you prepare? Well, I'll explain. You can actually build a structure. And when you built your structure, you could hang the ideas onto these different elements of the structure. A sequence of phrases which gives you a beginning, a middle, and an end, and takes you through and delivers a perfect and hopefully prize-winning speech. Let me show you. We can start off by saying, let me begin by saying, first of all, in my opinion, for example, on the one hand, on the other hand, in general, personally, in conclusion. So there you have a structure, and you can build your ideas onto those thoughts. Now you're going to say to me, how on earth am I going to remember all those different elements? Well, it's quite simple. You take the first letter of each of those phrases, you put them together, and you've got Lefifuipi. Yeah, it needs work, doesn't it? Oh, I've got the green card. Well, I can sit down. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. Mr. Timekeeper, have I got time for any more topics?
I'm afraid not, no.
Okay. In that case, then I'm going to hand over to the topics evaluator, who tonight is, you've guessed it. Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Topics Master. Right. Topics tonight. Well, as Topics Master, of course, I will have about a minute for each speech, and I will probably comment on things like eye contact, and body language, and even vocal variety. But one particular point I would like to make about this particular speech, Anthony, is I noticed you said, oh, there's the green card, I can go and sit down. We don't need to know that you've run out of ideas. If you have got to the point where you have nothing more to say, simply extend your hand to the Topics Master, say, Topics Master, and go back to your place. So my task now is to hand over to the General Evaluator. And tonight, it's Anthony. Thank you very much, Mr. Which one was that? Topics Evaluator. Right, as General Evaluator, we now come to table topics. And I thought there was a really interesting range of table topics, at least as far as it went. And I would like to pick up a couple of points with our Topics Master. First of all, you invited your speaker to come up to the front and pick a topic. Now what we're doing here is impromptu speaking, and there's virtually no time for preparation. But that doesn't mean there's no time at all for preparation. Normally, or in other circumstances, what you would do, you would say to your speaker, who might be sitting at the back, your topic is X, and your speaker has the time that it takes to walk to the front to think about that. But if you say, come up here and pick a topic, they've got no time. They've got no time to prepare at all. So that's one thing I think I would like you to think about. The other thing, of course, is that by definition, if they're coming up here and they're picking it out of a bag, it's random. I don't think it should be random, and I'll tell you why. It's because table topics should be a challenge. And if you actually have everything in the bag as random, then you don't know whether the topic will be difficult or easy. You don't know whether the speaker who gets it will be experienced, or possibly even somebody who's come here for the first time. So therefore, I think you, as topics master, should choose the topics, and you should also match them with people according to their ability. And I think as well, and this is a point for the table topics evaluator, you should evaluate the speaker on the basis of their experience. Now, somebody who comes to it new, maybe a visitor doing it for the first time, if they stand up here and they waste time because they're introducing lots of people or welcoming lots of people who aren't here, or if they're drifting off the topic and talking utter nonsense, that's fine. Because the thing about table topics is that it really is the first stepping stone for many, many people who come into Toastmasters. What we want people to do at the start is have the confidence just to stand in front of an audience, have the confidence to talk in front of an audience. But you've got to remember that as people get more experienced, what we're trying to do is to develop their skills in table topics, because that's something that you very often need in real life. Now, I've used this example in the past, but if somebody comes up to you in the corridor, your boss, and says, your sales are not too clever this month, what's the story there? And you say, sales? Yeah, I went sailing at the weekend and it was absolutely, well, that's not really going to be very good for your career prospects, is it? But that's the ultimate goal, that you can actually pick up a topic, pick up a question, and you can answer it clearly, articulately, and with confidence. So that's why I believe you should pick your topics and match them to the speaker according to their experience. The other thing that I would say to the topics master is that you said to the timekeeper, have we got time for any more? I don't believe that's the timekeeper's responsibility. I believe that's your responsibility. Now, I did actually look at tonight's agenda, and it's not very easy, because if we look at it, we can see what time the session starts after the break, we can see what time it finishes, but we can't actually see what time table topics starts or how much time is available for table topics. I did actually work it out by taking off what goes before and taking off what comes after. I've come to the conclusion that table topics tonight should start at 29 minutes past 8 and should finish at 47 minutes past 8, and there will be 18 minutes for table topics, but it's not clear. So maybe there's something the club could consider looking at to see whether we can actually get more information there. Even if you know you've got 18 minutes, you don't know how many speakers you're going to be able to get in, because some people will talk for a minute, some people will talk for 2.5 minutes, and you've got the introductions in between. And I think very often you will probably not be able to fit in all the people who have volunteered to speak. If the meeting is running late, then the table topics master should talk to the Toastmaster and say, what do you want to do? Do you want to truncate it so that we still finish on time? The other thing to remember is the more people that you slot into table topics, the longer the meeting will go on. But not only that, the more people you slot in, the bigger the workload for the topics evaluator, and that will take more time as well. So, all in all, I enjoyed tonight's table topics, and I would like to congratulate both the topics master and the topic evaluator. And now it just remains for me to pass over to the president. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight, but he is represented by Anthony. Well, I know what you're waiting for. I know what you want to know. Yes, who has won the best table topics of the night? It is. It's Anthony. Oh, this is amazing. I really don't know how to do this. I've got to thank so many people for making this possible tonight. I've got to say something to my mom, my agent, and above all, my hairdresser. Get off! Mr. Toastmaster, that completes the education.